Welcome viewers, Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist for what it's worth. This is the car. This is the sports car. I've had this for quite some years now. You'll see the stand-up paddleboard, which I paddle around the edge of the lake, the cycle, the electric hydrofoil, and the wind hydrofoil. Just want to encourage you people that do a breakup. You can walk, you can get out and walk and get in the light, get out in the sun. It's not going to hurt you, it'll do you good. And I want to talk to you a little bit this morning, or this afternoon actually, it's this afternoon, about emotional incest and mental health. Look at this, look at this. Wow, that thing was doing about 100k. Mental health. And that's what's going to happen. It's going to wear away at your mental health. Because, I'll tell you why. Because when you lose a relationship, and you will, you'll give in, or something stupid will happen. Always does. You'll have to get therapy or some kind of treatment, because you'll be entrained. Entraining's and conditioning is psychological trauma that takes place when you have to put in more effort than you should into a relationship. And what that does is start to entrain your mind, starts to entrain your thinking, and your devotion switches over to, and your loyalty switches over to navigating the relationship. It's all about navigating the relationship and what you can do within the relationship. And your mind becomes captivated, completely captivated, deep in the back recesses of your mind, with how you can make the relationship work. Right? How you're going to make the relationship work. And it becomes your center of focus. It becomes your center of thought. It becomes the core of your thinking. And you know it's failing. You know the odds are against you. You know that you're held at opposition. The partner that you're with is not doing anything that they think they can. Well, they're just not doing anything. Nothing's improving. And you're asking yourself, I used to ask myself, why is she still coming over? And I used to ask her, how are you coping with all this conflict and derision? And you know, my tolerance is waning. And this lady, she just, it entrains your mind. I'm telling you, your mind becomes troubled. Because there's no logical explanation for the derision. It's all based on fantasy, the fantasy of the person inside the emotional incest. And I guess that splits the person that you're with, mind and mentality. Because they have to stay on side with the family member, and they stay on side with you. But it doesn't resolve anything. It doesn't take away the enmity, the conflict. And that's troubling. Like, I used to worry about this woman. I used to think, why aren't you fixing anything? Why aren't you trying to resolve anything? But nothing was ever said, nothing was ever really brought to light, only that it's unresolvable in some sense. But I never had a problem for the first 6 months of it, right? And then I got some counselling, and then I talked to some friends, and just I don't like partial judgments. I just wanted some advice, and because I wanted the relationship to work. You want your relationships to work, and it was just a matter of spectate. You're just going to have to spectate and see what's going to happen. But then I started to develop some narcissistic feelings towards a situation, and we were trying to get closer. This is about covert emotional incest, overt, covert. We were trying to get closer. We were, starting to get productive. I started a pretty confronting YouTube channel, but that settled down after a while once it got off the ground. This is part of it now. And everything just seemed to change. Once I said, look, I've got the issue now. I mean, whatever the fantasy is or whatever's going on, God, something about me, I don't want to say because I don't want to embarrass the people, but it was an attack against me, and it was based on a delusion, fantasy. Wasn't true, wasn't my nature. It was never true. She was there. She knew it wasn't true, but she was also under the influence of the golden child. So I didn't really know what, I just thought to myself, well, I can't work out how this lady's coping, but there was other things that were soothing the mind. There were substances and things that were soothing the mind for them. But when you're straight, this is what people don't realise. When you're straight, you need resolve. You need these things resolved so that you can have peace of mind. You're not turning to substances and ignoring the issues. You're looking for resolve and how all that works. But people that take substances, from what I've seen now, they don't want to resolve anything. They just want to turn their back on the solution. Then, right at the end, when everything was just about stuffed, there was this solution proposed, but it was never ever going to be on, and it was never ever going to work. It just wasn't fair. It just wasn't a fair idea. And that was the end for me. I just thought, no, I can't do this anymore. And when I realised after the breakup that my mind had been entrained, I'm about 2.5 months down the track now, and it's starting to unravel. But you become connected to these people, to your partner. You want to be connected to your partner, and all this stuff robs that. Outside influences. That's what emotional incest does. It just destroys everything, and they go back to their fold, and the intrusion's been on you, not me on them. It was them on me, because I tried to do everything I could to be a good man, and that was never gonna stand, because I don't think they know what that is. I really don't think that they knew what that was. I don't think they understood it. And that's not a criticism. I just don't know what else to say. And so when you come out of the emotional incestual environment, there's a lot of unraveling going on in your mind. You ask yourself thousands of questions over and over again. You go through the grief and the pain and all that stuff. But it's the way in which your mind gets conditioned to try and suit it that I find the most punishing, because it puts a different dimension, layer on your devotion and loyalty that should never have been there. It just should never have been there. And it's very hard to come back out. The funny part about it is the unresolved went on for 9 months. The lady left in 5 minutes. You add that one up. 9 months of bullshit. And then this is just, when I said leave, there was no fight, there was no nothing. She must have been knew she was defeated. And that's all there was to it. She knew she was defeated. 2 years gone. Bring out the bong. Or whatever these people do. It's fucking bullshit. Am I surly and sour? No, but you do end up disappointed. You do. You end up disappointed and wondering, well, you know, for all the words that were said and all, it's all lies. Just lies. It's the only thing I can say. It's the only thing you can put it down to. Lies. Horrible lies. Terrible lies. Extraordinary lies that people think you should put up with. You can't. You can't put up with lies. Future faking and false promises. So just know, covert emotional incest, overt or covert, starts off as covert and always goes overt. It's gonna do some narcissistic damage to your mind. And you're gonna have to find your way out from that. And you're gonna need therapy and help and rehabilitation. I'm sorry, but you're just gonna have to accept this. For the people that are in it, man, they got all sorts going on for them. It's huge. It's huge. Oh, it's huge. Massive. Massive. It's so sad. They're going to look back and go, he was right. It's undeniable, I was right. That's not a problem. I'm not trying to be right. I'm just trying to show these people that there's a better way and that it's causing damage, what they're doing. Damage to people, and most of all themselves. This is Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Thank you for joining me, and bye for now.